It's a brand new day, and we'll be making history. Are you with me? Won't you stay? We have come so far. This is who we are. And like the rising sun, we have just begun to play our part. This is the time we form the chorus. Lift your voice for those before us. We can rely on one another. Feel the pride, let's show our colors. We are heroes and dreamers. We are restless believers.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is, wherever you are. This free range where we graze on wild ideas and we have wonderful guests. And I guess we just had a little bleep out on the internet for a second there, but they reconnected us. So hopefully we will have a smooth running tonight. But let me just say tonight's episode is a conversation and personal testimony interview. We're not providing medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment recommendations. We are discussing personal experiences, observations, and individual wellness journeys. Everyone should make their own health decisions and consult a qualified professional if needed. Our goal tonight is simple: to listen, ask questions, and document what people are observing in real life, in real time. Tonight, we shared personal experiences. And again, nothing, we're not giving medical advice. That's important. I just want to stress that. And as joining us tonight is Suzanne Chan, who grew up in Hong Kong and now lives in Oregon. She works internationally with clients and recently had her own personal experience trying a mineral hydration product that Fred provides. Fred, someone who has been working with nutritional mineral supplementations and hydration support, has been on the show before, and he has a wonderful product that helps with mineral balance. And we're going to talk about why it matters and why minerals, why are they so important. So let me bring on my guests, and let me bring on Susie, ladies first.
Hello, Gail.
Hello, Susie. So happy to have you on and so interested
Yes.
in your experiences. And let's bring Fred on.
Thank you for having me.
Well,
Oh,
I'm
you're
here
welcome.
too. Thank you, Gail.
Thank you.
It's nice to be
Oh.
back with you.
Yes, it's always interesting because we get so many testimonials from people that are so impressive. They have good results with using the minerals. Now, one of the things that I'd like to talk about is why. Let's start with you, Susie. What
Yes.
was your health or energy like before you tried the product or tried the minerals?
Oh my goodness. That's a great question. My journey with the mineral, I met Fred probably last October, 2025. Um, I, work has been stressful. I noticed my energy level was being run down. Um, and where it was impacting me, I was feeling fatigue and my appetite was declining. I wasn't feeling great. And then so I heard about Fred and that's how I start my journey. And ever since then it's just been a great ride. And
So,
I told yep.
out of curiosity, how did you hear about Fred?
I was introduced to Fred from a great friend. We have a mutual acquaintance. And
Oh, I
I
see.
was telling my girlfriend, and I go, look, I just don't feel all that great. I feel maybe age is catching up with me. Work is busy, and living a very stressful life. And I've been getting headaches. I just feel fatigue, and I just don't feel right. And she told me about the mineral water she had, and she's been taking it for more than 5 years. And
Oh, wow.
she just had nothing but just raving review about her health. She's got perfect blood pressure, perfect all her vital sign when she does her annual checkup. It's been great. And she said, just give it a try. It's easy. The mineral water, it filters the water, and you're adding the good minerals into your body. It helps lower inflammation. It's going to get your energy back, and perhaps there's something going on internally that you're not aware of. And she said, just
Mhm.
just give it a shot. And that's how I started.
Wow. Well, what was one of the first things you noticed after you taken it for a while or used it
I
for a
think
while?
the first thing I really noticed is the taste of the water. As you may know, all of our water is filtered with other chemicals. And I noticed the water tastes cleaner. It's got a better tasting. And I am not a big water drinker, but since the mineral water, I have been consistently drinking 8 to 10 glass a day. It really brought back the water taste in my mouth, and now I'm loving it. And that's really the truth. And then the
Well,
other thing I really notice also is I wake up in the morning, I got more clarity, I have more energy, and now I make it a priority how important the water is, and I make sure that I get 8 10 glass water a day.
do you use the booster drink at all?
Yes, I did. I started the booster drink of 2 weeks when I first started the program. What I love about this water is that Fred and the company really provide clear guidance. How do you use it? There's protocol. And if there is specific
Yes.
health uh, issues that you want to address, they're very helpful. Fred is always available on the phone. It's nothing like it. It's not just the product, it's also the service. They truly care about your health and wellness. So he loves talking to other people as well and to understand your health situation. And he'll help you get started, start small, start slow, and then you will notice a difference. Yes, absolutely.
What surprised you the most?
Got kind of kicked out. I didn't hear that sentence. I apologize. The internet.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it has gone off and on twice now, so I apologize
Okay.
for that. But
My no, I
anyway, it happened.
apologize. If you can
So
repeat the
I guess
question, that'd be great.
yeah, I was going to ask you what about it surprised you the most? What's the biggest surprise of it all?
I think the biggest surprise was the taste bud. Um,
Interesting.
I'm a coffee drinker. As
Hmm.
many of you know, if you're a coffee drinker, you wake up first thing in the morning, you're gonna go grab your first cup of coffee. Yeah, the
Yeah,
nice thing is go brew coffee. No, that's true. I'm one of
yeah,
those. The
I
first
am
thing you do,
too.
you're gonna grab your coffee, and then you're gonna start brewing your coffee, and you're gonna have your first cup of coffee instead of water. And what I did notice when I slowly um drinking water again, I noticed my taste bud of water, liking the water the way it tastes. And you know what? Here I am 6 months later. I have completely cut coffee out of my life.
Oh
I don't
wow.
need coffee anymore. The water has really helped me to conversing my taste bud on the water. I like the way it tastes. I like the way it makes me feel. And now I don't need coffee anymore. It has helped me transition out of coffee, which is something I wanted to do and I was not able to do it for a long time.
Wow. Well, what I did is I transitioned to a low acid yeah, low acid coffee instead of with mushrooms in it. But I
Oh,
know about I know about the coffee thing.
yep.
But the mineral water is better. There's just no two ways about it. Um, let's see, what else was I going to ask you? How long did it take before you started experiencing noticeable change? Or I guess the taste of the
I
water, you notice that right away, huh?
I did, and I think what really helped is after the 2 weeks of the booster drink. What the booster drink is to really help detoxification of your body. So if you're not used to drinking 8 10 glass water a day, you're going to start notice going to the bathroom a little bit more. But the nice thing about that, you are getting rid of it out of your body, and the more toxin that you release some of that caffeine out of your body, you're purifying your internal system, and that's when I really noticed my taste bud of the water, and I said, "Oh my God, never taste water that tastes as good." So
Tastes clean and yeah,
very
it makes a
clean.
difference. Very clean.
Yes, it
Yeah.
does.
Well, Fred, we don't want to leave you out here. I got a question for you. Uh,
Okay.
yeah, and if someone eats food and drinks water every day, why would they still be depleted? Maybe
Oh
you could,
my. Well, the-
I know you, and I know, but I think our audience, we want to know
all right.
again.
Well, let me just refresh the audience's memory in case they did listen to us talk before, Gail. But the this product, we call it super mineral water. And the reason we call it that is because there are approximately 80 different trace minerals in this product. And our body really requires minerals in order to function. Vitamins don't do any good at all if you don't have the minerals. It's the minerals that really activate the vitamins and helps our body. And so really there's three things that these minerals will do when you drink them. Number one is they will hydrate our body, and we paid, or one of my distributors paid a medical clinic $150,000 to do two tests, and one of the tests was cellular hydration, and that is normal water. You only get 2 to 4% cellular hydration, but our minerals, when you add them to a gallon of water, then that water that you drink hydrates the body at a whopping 32% cellular hydration. Can you imagine the difference that your
I'm so
body?
glad you brought that up because that is one of the significant factors in performance that is affecting people.
Yeah.
That hydration is, I mean, if you're dehydrated, you can't perform. I mean, there's a significant decrease percentage wise in your performance when you're dehydrated. And people are more dehydrated than they think they are.
Well,
I
yes,
mean,
Gail. In fact, the scientists developed a product called Gatorade to hydrate the sports athletes. And Gatorade will only hydrate the body at 8%. Ours is 32%. And Gatorade has some things in it that are not that healthy for us to be drinking, consuming. But our mineral water is extremely healthy, and it helps to hydrate our bodies at 32%. Now, that's the first thing. All right. The second thing is that these minerals will cause our body to detoxify the poisons that we are accumulating in our body. And remember, the water that we drink is poisonous. A lot of times it has very bad chemicals in it and so on. The air we breathe, whether it's from the chemtrails, whether it's from the smokestacks from factories or the diesel trucks or whatever, we're breathing in polluted air. And when you drink this water with the minerals in it, it will help to detoxify our body. And so that's the second thing that it does. And then the third thing, Gail, what it does, there's stress in our life. There's a lot of different kinds of stress, whether it's physical stress or mental or, chemical, spiritual, it doesn't matter. Stress can affect our body. And when you
oh,
add these three things together, the stress, the chemical
assault.
detoxification, yeah,
Yeah.
the assault on our bodies from all the toxins and so on, and not being hydrated. When you do these three things, it causes our body's own immune system to shut down, Gail, and no longer functions like it was designed to function when God created our bodies. And if our immune system shuts down, guess what happens? Well, we start to get sick or we get ill, and ultimately we can get diseased. And so, what happens when you start drinking this treated water with these minerals, it hydrates our body, it detoxifies many of these toxins out of our body. We can talk about how it does that too. And the third thing, it does level off the stress that we have. And when these three things are satisfied, our immune system will kick back in. It will start functioning again, and we will get back into balance again. And once our body gets back into balance, it's our body's own immune system that does the healing of our body. And that's why, Gail, when you said at the beginning that, you know, these minerals, they don't treat, heal, or cure or prevent any sickness or disease. They don't do that. But what does do that is our own body's immune system when it
When it
starts
has,
functioning.
yeah, and when it has the necessary minerals and nutrients that it needs to be able to do what it was designed to do. It's like, trying to do something with missing parts. It just doesn't work as well.
That's
Um,
right. Right. So
so
that's what does the healing. It's not the minerals, it is the immune system that does it. So we can't claim that. The FDA would shut us down immediately if we started claiming that the minerals did that. No, it's our own body that does that. But Gail, I have a question that I want you to ask Susie.
okay,
I'm
you
going
can
to
ask
direct
her.
this.
Go ahead.
When I first met Susie, and we started talking about the minerals and the effects that they had on her, asked her what the first thing she was telling me about that she was so extremely excited about that she hasn't mentioned yet. And I'm surprised she hasn't mentioned it yet because we've talked for a
Oh,
long time. Susie,
yes.
what is it that you talked to me
Yes.
about that you were so excited about?
Oh my goodness, Fred. My apology. I should. You know what, Gail? I have to share with every woman on this radio listening right now. I highly encourage, if you don't do the water, you got to get this to take a bath with this mineral water. I I cannot live without this mineral water even for my hair. When you take a bath with this mineral water, dip your hair in there. You only need a pea size, like a little pea of shampoo. You don't need a lot. Matter of fact, I really didn't need a lot. And when you come out of the bath, washing your hair there, my goodness, your hair, it will softens. It's got volumes. And I got rid of all my products. I used to have a hair volume to do my hair so it fluffs, and I do a oil shine to
Hmm.
make it shinier, and I no longer need any of those product anymore. Your hair will feel so good. It's so amazing.
Oh, wow.
It shines, it gives volumes, and it softens. I'm not I it's the best thing. I this That's correct. Fred, was the best experience I ever had besides converting drinking more water, 10 glass a day, and got rid of coffee. It's
I
so
noticed
amazing.
the hair thing too. Yeah, it is. Well, minerals are not vitamins, and they're not really medicine, like Fred was saying, but they're basic elements, like magnesium, potassium, calcium, sodium, and other trace elements. The body uses them as electrical and structural building blocks. Every cell in our body communicates through these tiny electrical signals. Nerves, muscles, even the heart depend on mineral balance to send those signals properly. And hydration is key too, because it's tied to the minerals, because the water alone doesn't move efficiently in the cells without the electrolytes. And if you're
Yes.
dehydrated, how's it going to move? It's going to be real sluggish. It's just not going to get to where it needs to go. So the other thing that minerals do, so people are aware, is they're very important in to activate enzymes. And enzymes help turn our food into energy, to repair tissue, regulate sleep cycles, support normal hair, skin, and metabolic function. And see, the hair and skin comes in there, and we just need minerals, and we just have not been getting them because toxins block their pathways. Um, the food has been depleted of them. Stuff is picked before it's ripe. Um, there's so many different things that have um, made the quality of our dietary intake much it's just not what it should be. And I always think it's funny that they call food, organic. And I mean, that's the way it always was, but now it's special and they add extra cost to it as a result. But, well, that's a whole nother area I'm concerned. But that being said, minerals have been depleted in our food supply. And that's part of the reason why it's so important to um, make sure you get them in your diet through some means. And these super minerals are really, really something else. You have to experience it yourself. It'll make a
That's right.
believer out of you.
And that's why I say, Gail, I get hundreds of questions from people from all over the world. I mean, just this week, I'm sending minerals to Australia. I'm sending them South Africa. I'm sending them to, New Zealand, Mexico. Let's see what. Oh, Cayman Islands, Jamaica. I'm getting questions from people all over the world, Gail. And they ask me, well, Fred, can it do this or can it do that? You know what my answer is, Gail? I say, I don't know. You just have to try it for yourself and see what it does for you. It does so many things.
Yeah, everybody's different, and everybody might have one mineral lower than another, or whatever. It's going to have different effect for different, different people to a certain extent. But to make a long story short, everybody is short on minerals. It's just the way it is. And we have someone, Galloping Spirit is in the audience, and she says, I have Vitella. And she's asking, Fred, is it okay to store it in the refrigerator?
Well, the answer is yes, you can. You can. Absolutely, you can store it in the refrigerator. In fact, we want you to store it in a place where the light doesn't really shine on it. And make sure you put the cap back on the bottle too, because the spores in the air, believe it or not, and we have so many spores in the air where we live now. If those spores can get in that bottle, then it can start causing the minerals to take on some of these spores. So yeah, keep them in the refrigerator. That's perfect. That's fine. And
it doesn't have to be kept in the refrigerator, though, does it?
No, it does not have to be, but it doesn't hurt. No.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I was just wondering, because I don't put mine in the refrigerator. I'm going, oh no, you have to put it in the refrigerator. No. She's Galloping Spirit says she's on she's ready to order her second bottle, and she really enjoys the product. So that's another rah here. So it's one of those things. Try it. You might be surprised.
Yeah, they usually are, and that's why, Gail, I have many, many thousands of stories. I've been doing this for 15 years now, Gail. 15 years. I have many, many thousands of customers all around the world. And, I keep getting new ones, and they keep asking the same questions that I was asked 15 years ago, which is fine, because this is all an educational, a learning experience. Because, the world of pharmaceutical companies, they don't tell you about minerals and the need for minerals. They want to sell you this petroleum product that they artificially made from petroleum, and they want to sell you that to try to fix your body. And you know what? Some of these things, they do treat the symptoms, but they never get to the raw core of the problem that is caused in the first place. And that's what these minerals do. They'll go and get to the raw core of what's going on in your body, and it will help to put your body back into balance again. We call that homeostasis, and your body needs to be back into homeostasis, or back into balance. And that's what these minerals will do. They'll help get your body back in balance again. And that's why you feel stronger. Your mind will start to clear up. Remember, when I first started these minerals 15 years ago, I tried for months and months to remember the names of people that I used to stay with. And I used to go through the alphabet, A, B, C, trying to find a hook to remind myself of the name of the people that I stayed with, and it didn't work. 1 week on the minerals, 1 week, Gail, all of a sudden my mind opened up and these names came flooding into my memory like crazy. And all of a sudden I could remember all these different names, so that was 1 week into my drinking the mineral water, where I added it to my drinking water. So, there's so many things that the body will do for you if you give the body what it really needs in order to get it back into balance again, because we live in such a polluted environment. And I think, I haven't met anybody that does not think we live in a polluted environment today. It just is that way. Even the food that we eat, when you buy it at the grocery store, they spray this stuff and glyphosate. Oh, my land, Gail, glyphosate, one of the big scourges of our world now has been that glyphosate. And they
It's all
spray.
over. It's saturated the planet. It's terrible. And, a lot of people were fighting about, that it's not that bad. And it is bad. And that's something that you have found, that super minerals will actually disassemble.
Yeah,
Is
it
that
neutralizes
actually how?
glyphosate. Absolutely. We have lab reports that show definitively that it will get rid of the glyphosate that's in your body. It will get rid of it if you spray your fruits and vegetables with it, rinse them off. If you took, for example, a bowl of strawberries, they look nice and beautiful and red and, shiny. But if you take
Mhm.
those strawberries that you bought at the supermarket and you put them in a bowl of the treated water with the minerals and rub them around a little bit, then you take the strawberries out and take a look at the water that's left behind. And you say, oh, my land, all that came off those strawberries. You couldn't see it. Or grapes. Another thing is grapes. Any of those things, it's really bad what we are given that is supposedly ready to eat from our supermarket. And it's
Well,
not
like I was
really.
saying, not only do we have soil depletion problems, that's a whole nother area. We have highly processed food, which has most of the nutrients stripped out of it. And then we have people that will put your food into the microwave and further causes more nutrient loss. Um, so and then we have what some refer to as dead water running through our pipes. And I can't believe they haven't taken fluoride out of the water yet. It still never ceases to amaze me. Now, these minerals, will they take care of the fluoride?
Yes, they do. They work on fluoride as well. And, I prefer to find toothpaste that does not have the fluoride built into it.
Exactly. That's another.
You can do that as well. But yeah, fluoride, that's really a poison, and
It is. I mean, they wear hazmat suits to put it in the water. I mean, what are they thinking? I
yeah,
mean, it amazes me.
yes, that's true.
Speaking of Galloping Spirit is talking about doing it with her fruits and vegetables. I have a little spray bottle that I use, and I have, the mineral water in that little spray bottle with which is water, purified water. And when I have a salad that maybe even, I don't know, I think even if it's organic, I found out they can spray some stuff on that too. It's just really sickening. But anyway, I will just use that and spray up the, whatever fruits or vegetables that I'm eating at the time, just to, if there's any glyphosate on it or there's any other pesticides on it. Hopefully, it starts breaking it down, and then, you consume it, and the rest of the breakdown probably happens inside. And I had a hair analysis once, and I did have glyphosate in my system. So I'm hoping
Yes.
that I'm getting rid of it by using the mineral water. Most people probably do, because of it's all over. the planet, actually, but it's exceptionally bad here in the United States.
Yes, that's true. Very true. Yeah.
Well, Susie, are you still there?
I certainly am. I'm enjoying listening to all the wonderful features and benefit of the mineral waters. There's always opportunity to learn more, right? To better our health, and I'm all about supporting everyone about healthy living, healthy breathing, healthy water. It's all about that.
It really is. It really is. Fred's been doing this for so long. I wish I would have found out about it when he first started.
That's the same story I get all the time, Gail, really. You know, and I wish I could have told the whole world about it. But you know what? There are certain factions in the world today that don't want me to tell the world about it.
Oh,
You
I'm
know,
sure.
there is billions and billions of dollars made on all these other things when, you're talking about treating our drinking water with these minerals to purify it and so on. And it's only just cents. Whereas hundreds and hundreds of dollars are spent on these pills and capsules and, potions and all this other stuff. There's so
And who
much
knows?
money to be made in that.
Well, and who knows how well it's even going to be absorbed, because you can be taking a lot of stuff, and if you're not absorbing it, it's you're wasting your money. Let me put it that way. And again, as we were speaking earlier, that hydration factor is very important in the absorption process.
Yes, that's true. Yeah.
Well, let me see. Is there anything else? So, are there any other kinds of changes that people report noticing that we haven't covered,
Well,
Fred?
yes, there are. Well, one of the really big things that's happening right now in our world, because of the vaccines and so on that people are giving their children, their babies, the rate of autism has greatly expanded. And,
Yes.
a few years ago, maybe 1 out of 100, and then 1 out of 60, 1 out of 30. Now it sounds like 1 out of 12 people, children, are getting autistic. And
Is
with
it down
these,
to 1 out of 12?
it's crazy. I would have to
Oh
really
my
look
God.
up that stat again, but I know it has increased tremendously. And
Oh
why?
yeah. What was it in the 70s? I think it was 1 in 10,000. Now it's 1 in 30. The last I heard was 1 in like 36, something like that. And it could have gone down even farther. It's just what they can't figure out what causes it.
Well, no, we know what causes it, Gail. We know
Yes, we
what
do.
causes it.
Yes, we do. But we aren't allowed to say so. Go figure that one out. Okay.
Well,
But
I,
anyway,
I have, my partner in the mineral business, he has people that he works with, and come to find out, this one family had an autistic child. And this autistic child was 4 years. Now, this is really recent, Gail. This was just in the last couple of months. This autistic 4-year-old child had never spoken, would never look at his mother in the eye, would never really play with the toys. And he was just out of it, just would rock back and forth and so on. And so my partner was telling this lady that he works with about the minerals and how it's helped autistic children. And so she said, well, I'll try it with my son. So she did. In 1 week, that child was now up and jumping on the bed and singing. Can you believe that? Never said a word at 4 years old. And now a week later, he was jumping on the bed, playing around and singing.
isn't that amazing?
She said that has been such a big change in that child's life. That's just one story, Gail. We have hundreds of them, but that's one that happened in the
Wow.
last 2 weeks. or
I
too
believe
much.
that's probably related to the detoxification effect that it has, and
Yeah.
also the filling in the gaps of depleted areas as a result of interference with other heavy metals. And I'm just, kind of guessing here, but from what I already know, but that's what it sounds like, and that is amazing. And
Yes.
we have so much of that now that
Even the animals know the difference, Gail. Even the animals. Like if people go to our website, they can actually see a video of one of our customers that had 2 dogs. And so what she did is she prepared one dog water bowl with just plain water, like she's always fed her dogs. And the other bowl, she put in some drops of our minerals and stirred that around. And then when her dog came and sniffed at the water bowls, it took a little drink of the regular water, and then it looked over at the mineralized water, and it started drinking, and it refused to drink the old water anymore. And you see it actually going to the mineral water. And then her second dog, she didn't have that dog see this first dog drinking. So she took her second dog to these 2 bowls, and that second dog also only drank the mineral water. Animals know this. I have many animal stories, Gail. I've told you about the chickens, about the pigs.
and they're
Oh,
That's so true, and they're not influenced by, propaganda or things that humans are influenced with. They just, basically go on pretty much uh instinctual, and they know what's good for them. It's just like if you remember when they came out with margarine, ants wouldn't eat it.
yes. Yeah, how true. That's true.
So stuff like that. Somebody is asking, Galloping Spirit asks, is it okay to use distilled water with the minerals?
Absolutely. The answer is yes. If you use distilled water, see, distilled water has a lot of the toxins already removed from it, the heavy
Yeah.
metals and so on. It's already removed. But distilled water by itself, without minerals, it can cause the minerals that are in your body to be absorbed by the distilled water. So I don't recommend drinking distilled water by itself. But I do recommend taking distilled water and adding, like 1 teaspoon of the minerals concentrate to a gallon of your distilled water. And that will then cause that to be a very, very healthy water to drink. And that's number 1 priority as far as I'm concerned. You can take water that you buy at your supermarket or drugstore or wherever, bottled water, but and we have found, in fact, when I used to go around different cities educating people on the minerals, I used to go buy different brands of bottled water in the local store, whether it's a Kroger store or Meijer store or whatever, Walnut, whatever, Walmart, not Walnut store, Walmart, whatever,
Yeah.
and then. At the beginning of the program, I would add the minerals to it, and I say, okay, let's look at this. Come at the end of the day, at the end of the talk, and so then at the end, you would start to see which bottles started to have the ashes develop on the bottom of the bottle.
Yes, I've seen that, Fred.
And
Yes.
and what that is, Gail, that's where these minerals will detoxify the poisons that's even in your bottled water that you buy to drink. You think it's pure. No way. There's a lot of bottled water that is not pure. You add the minerals to it, and the minerals will cause the toxins to burn up and fall to the bottom as ashes.
And you'll actually
But
see it. There's a couple of times I put the minerals in a drink or in bottled water, like you were saying, and it is. There's this residue at the bottom after it
that's
sits there
right.
for a while.
Those are ashes from the burned up poisons or toxins that's in the water. But
It's
now,
amazing.
when this lady said that, or person said, excuse me, that, can you use it in distilled water? The answer is absolutely you can, because the
That's a perfect.
it's perfect there, because you won't find any burned up ashes with distilled water. It's more pure. It won't be, because even tap water or even well water, you're going to find toxins in there, and it will cause ashes to form in the bottom of your container. And a lot of times you have to either filter that off or just pour the water down till it gets down to the ashes, and then don't just throw that water with the ashes away. Use it on your plants, on your grass, on your agriculture at all, any things like that. They don't care if there's ashes. It doesn't affect their taste, but there's
Yeah,
still
it's
enough
broke down.
minerals.
The bad stuff's broken down.
That's right. It's broken. It's no longer toxic anymore. It's no. So if you were to drink it, you could drink it, but it would just pass right through your body and not affect you. But it's just unappetizing for us humans. A dog or a cat, they'll drink it. They don't care. But I don't like seeing my dog. I have a dog and I have a cat, and they both absolutely love our mineral water, and they go to it, and that's all they drink now. That's all they drink. I don't even give them a choice anymore. That's all I put in their bowls. That's it.
To keep them healthy
That's
that
right.
way.
That's right.
Because they're dog. That's a whole nother story. But dog food in general is made under such high heat and conditions that there's got to be very little real nutrition left in it by the time gets to the dog to eat.
You're right, and that's another whole story. And I do pay extra to get some very good quality dog food that my dog loves and keeps my dog very healthy. So
If you don't mind my asking, what one do you use?
I use Dr. Marty.
Dr. I have some of Dr. Marty's stuff too. That's funny. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I'm not really here to advertise Dr. Marty, but he has good stuff.
Yeah. Anyway, okay. Let's see. Is there anything we haven't covered? Do you have anything you'd like to add, Susie?
I really want to also touch base on, I give the mineral water to my dog as well, and he loves it. So every time when I pull out the mixed water jug, he knows that's a mineral water. It's amazing. And I I feel so privileged to be on here to share my own experience, and I really hope the all the listeners out there to give this mineral a try. It's truly an amazing product. When you use it for a long period of time, after a couple months or so, even, you're really going to notice a difference in your health, in your skin, and if you have, I have inflammation issues, and has really helped me a long way. And I can't tell you how great to feel that I no longer depending on coffee anymore every day, and I don't crave it anymore. So now I may have it once a while, and it is such a joy. And the product has really not only enriched my life but my health, and I just feel happier. And it's such a it's a very inexpensive bottle concentrate for what you can do for your water. And I just cannot say thank you enough to Fred, and how grateful I am to have him brought this product to the world.
It is, yeah, it's amazing. I'm glad you said that about happier, because I have had that same experience. And even though I still drink coffee, I don't have the same need for it, if you know what I mean.
Yes.
Because I feel energized already especially with the booster. And but so that's something that if you want to get off coffee, it's a good way to do it. Or else, like I chose to use a low acid coffee, but to each his
Well,
own.
Gail,
Yeah.
you mentioned, the booster. There's probably some new listeners on the program tonight that don't know what we're talking about as far as what is a booster and so on. So let me just share. There are, these minerals were actually discovered by an atomic scientist that was hired by the Japanese government to find a way to remove the radioactive isotopes from the waters around Hiroshima and Nagasaki. And it was while he was on that quest trying to figure out how to do that is when he discovered these minerals. And that's another whole story that's very, very interesting. And, I've told it before, but let me just say that then what he did is he gave these minerals to his friend, a medical doctor. The medical doctor was a cancer surgeon. And he gave these minerals to the cancer surgeon and said, tell me what effect this has on human beings. Because, he got them because these minerals did indeed remove the radioactive isotopes from the water. And so he said, well, that's great. What's it do to humans if they consume it? So the doctor then developed a 3-part protocol. And with this 3-part protocol, that medical cancer doctor was able to bring over 50,000 cancer patients to complete remission, Gail, with the 3-part protocol. So what's the 3-part protocol? Well, part 1 is adding 1 teaspoon to a gallon of your drinking water. And so that's protocol part number 1, 1 teaspoon per gallon. Now, I live in agricultural area, and my fields around me, the farmers, they spray the glyphosate. They put all the chemicals on the field, and that gets down into the water aquifers, and that gets into the water aquifer that my well draws its water from. So to be safe, I put in 2 teaspoons of my gallon of my well water. But like if it was that distilled water, absolutely 1 teaspoon's enough. But anyway, if it has the chance of being polluted, put in 2 teaspoons. It's not going to hurt at all. But that's prototype number 1, treated water. And then, that water you can not only use to drink, but you can use it to wash your fruits and vegetables. And you can use it to, spray yourself off in the shower, put it in a spray bottle, spray your body off with it, because there's so much stuff in the water that comes through our shower and so on. There's many, many uses of that. You can put it on, spray it on a bee sting or a wasp sting, and it'll go away very quickly. You spray it, if you spray it on your clothing that has static cling, that static cling will just drop off. The folds will come out straight again. There's so many uses of that treated water.
Amazing.
Spray it in your hair. If you go to a motel, hotel room, take a bottle of that spray water, spray it all over your room and so on. It will help purify that room as well. There's a lot of uses. I won't go into all of them, but that's part number 1. Part number 2 that you keep mentioning, Gail, is a booster drink. Now, a booster drink is what you do first thing in the morning before you eat or drink anything else. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to take a glass of your already treated water. Remember the 1 to 2 teaspoons per gallon. Take a glass of that. Now, how big a glass? I don't care. It could be 6 ounces, 8 ounces, 10, 12, 16. I don't care. What's important is the boost you put in that glass of treated water. And you will put in an extra teaspoon of the mineral water, the minerals from your bottle, into that glass of already treated water, an extra teaspoon per 100 pounds of your body weight. So, Gail, let's say you weighed 150 pounds. How much would you add? Well, 150, that's 1.5 times 100, right? So it would be 1.5 teaspoons added to your glass of already treated water. That becomes a booster drink. And you drink that booster drink first thing in the morning before you eat or drink anything else. Because what we want that booster drink to be in your stomach to start detoxing your body right away. And then you need to wait 15, 20 minutes, and then you can have your coffee, you can have your breakfast, you can eat whatever you want at that point in time. But if you're doing a booster drink, the proper way to do it is wait 15, 20 minutes after drinking your booster drink. And remember, your booster drink is nothing more than an extra boost of the minerals at the rate of 1 extra teaspoon per 100 pounds of your body weight. Add that to your glass of already treated water. Drink it first thing in the morning. All right. And then the third part of the protocol we haven't even talked about, although Susie mentioned taking a bath in the minerals. Now, the third part is a bathtub of warmed hot water. And then in that bathtub of water, put in anywhere from 3 to 5 tablespoons of the minerals in that bathtub of water. And then what that will do, that will treat all those gallons of water in that bathtub. And then the other thing I tell my friends and my customers to do, if they're going to do the third part, the mineral bath part, we like them to keep their hands and their toes under water as much as possible. We want it to get under the toenails. And that will, believe it or not, help the body detoxify even faster. And if you're in the bathtub, take a paper cup or plastic cup in the bathtub with you, and use that cup in the hand to spray, splash. Like if your stomach is sticking out of the surface of the water in your bathtub, then splash water from the bathtub on top of your stomach, and take turns, your right hand and then your left hand. Whichever hand is not doing the splashing, keep it under the water. And then take it out of the water, put the cup in that hand and splash with that hand, and put the original hand back under the water. And so that, we kind of recommend that you sit and soak in that bathtub of mineralized water for half an hour, 45 minutes. It's going to start to cool off, and then you can get off, and then you can rinse, or you can use your hand and wipe off all the droplets of water that's on your skin, and then you can take a towel and towel dry. But that's the 3-part protocol, Gail.
Yeah, thank you for reviewing that. It's simple. It's very simple. Somebody's asking, is this a fulvic and humic product?
Well, okay.
I said no, but
it is not. It's similar. Fulvic acid it's similar. It has minerals and so on, but no, it is not, because it's an all-natural product, Gail, that comes from a volcanic region deep in the earth. And what happens is that the magma that is flowing through the veins deep in the earth in volcanic regions, that's flowing through the veins, and it encounters these granite boulders that have the black streaks that are flowing inside the granite boulders. Now, those black streaks, that's really biotite or black mica. And so when this hot and under pressure magma encounters these black streaks, the heat and the pressure will completely liquefy that black mica or the biotite into a crystal clear, golden colored liquid. And the ancient alchemists used to call that the golden elixir. And that is a product that is made naturally deep in the earth. And then that golden elixir, by the way, the alchemists used to try to get that to convert lead into gold. They never succeeded to do that. It doesn't do that. But what they didn't realize is that they did have something that was worth far more than gold in their hands with this golden elixir that now travels with the magma in the veins, and it gets spewed into the lakes, the ponds, the rivers, the bodies of water, the aquifers, ocean, gets spewed into the other bodies of water, and that's where those other bodies of water get purified. And that's where the toxins get purified out of those bodies of water. And now the earth, because of man and man's living practices, the earth is no longer as pure as it used to be. And so the natural way of waters being purified with the these minerals, the golden elixir, it's not enough to keep ahead of it. So now we have to take matters into our own hands, and we have to be concerned about purifying our own water with the minerals. Gail, sometimes I've done a lot of speaking in churches and libraries and meeting halls and so on all over. And sometimes in the church, I might have a little fun with the congregation. I say, well, you've all read in the Bible about the Garden of Eden and so on. Do you think the water in the Garden of Eden, do you think that ever got polluted? And most of the parishioners would say, oh, no, the Garden of Eden, that was all perfect, pure. And then I would say, well, I kind of think possibly it may have gotten polluted some. There's still birds that were there in the Garden of Eden, and there are still trees and leaves and things that could get in the water that could cause it to get polluted. But you know what? God had designed the waters in the Garden of Eden to be purified by these minerals that were put in the water naturally. That was all part of the creation story. So I think the water in the Garden of Eden could have gotten some pollution, but I think it was also purified that way. So I just have some fun with the parishioners that way. But it's just a lot of fun talking about these minerals, Gail, because there's so many things that you can talk about and that they do. Are you still there, Gail?
Oh, sorry, I muted myself for a minute.
Okay.
I was sitting there saying, talking away here, and I didn't realize I was muted. But I was just saying that I think in a future show when we'll bring Dr. Stephanie Seneff on if she's available, and we can talk about the glyphosate thing some more because I think that's really critical. And this does amaze me how it is able to break things down the way that it does. It's just amazing to me. Um, and it has a profound effect on you as a result.
That's true. It's not just glyphosate. I have hundreds of tests that have been performed by the lab that we have paid to have all these lab tests done. And one of them, I mentioned about one of my distributors that tested for hydration. And also the second part of the test was what effect did it have on the lead, mercury, and arsenic in the body. And so they had a 90-day test where they gave all the participants a 5-gallon jug of water, and they're going to have as many as they needed to drink in the 90 days. And half of the group just got their regular purified water in the 5-gallon jugs, and they drank that for the 90 days. And the second group, they had the same water, but since it was 5 gallons, 5 teaspoons of the minerals were added to their jugs of water, and they drank them. At the end of the 90 days, the people drinking the mineralized water, their lead, mercury, and arsenic went down a minimum of 92%. Now,
that is amazing.
It really is. And they were not doing the boosters, and they were not doing the mineral baths. If they would have done those too, it would have,
happened faster.
And even 100%. But the other group, believe it or not, because they were encouraged to drink the water and they had purified water, their lead, mercury, and arsenic went down to at most 4%. It did go down because they drink more water, but 2 to 4% compared to 92%.
Yeah, big difference. Yeah. Wow. Amazing. Well, I think we're going to wrap it up on that note because it's amazing what these minerals do, and we will have you back again to talk about this some more. Susie, are you still here with us, Susie? I noticed she was going on and off. I think her connection was giving her trouble. She's off right now. But I wanted to thank Susie for sharing what she did. And of course, thank you, Fred, for sharing what you share and for having this wonderful super mineral product that really can make a difference in people's lives.
Gail, do you remember the code I gave you?
Oh,
And
GOG?
Yes, if people wanted to order these minerals, they could go to our website, and you put it there on the screen. It's vitellausa.com. They can order the minerals there. And when you check out, there's a place to put in a coupon code. And if you put in Gail's coupon code of GOG, it stands for Gail of Gaia, GOG, then when you check out, you'll get a discount off the price of your minerals. If anybody wanted to try them, they could always try them by going to our website, vitellausa.com, and check out. And on that website, we have 16-ounce bottles and we have 32-ounce bottles, and you can select them or however many you would want to try, and then put in the coupon code GOG, and you would get a discount. And Gail will get some credit for that. Thank you, Gail, for doing this for us.
Oh, you're welcome. I love to do it because I love the product, and I wouldn't do it if I didn't. So
Okay.
And that is a fact. So yes, I can't say enough good things about it. So thank you, Fred. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing this with people, and I hope people give it a try because nobody can, everybody's different, and you'll have your own unique experience, and you might be amazed.
I guarantee they'll be amazed. Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Gail. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. And thank you, audience, for listening, and share this with others. So stay in the light, and we'll see you again soon.
We have found our way. It's a brand new day, and we'll be making history. Are you with me? Won't you stay? We have come so far. This is who we are, and like the rising sun, we have just begun to play our part. This is the time we form the chorus. Lift your voice for those before us. We can rely on one another. Feel the pride, let's show our